Welcome to Charmed Life, a radio show discussing spirituality, magic, and the unconditional love of the universe. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Charmed Life. I'm your host, Tricia Carr. And if you happen to have seen my promotion for today's show a few days ago, or last week, I had said that I was going to have Hillary Michaels on, professional medium Hillary Michaels, but unfortunately she came down sick. I'm so sorry, Hillary, if you're listening. I love you so much. And Hillary will be back on the show in January. I think it's the 3rd or 4th Sunday in January, and we look forward to seeing her then. If you caught our show a week before last, you could always go back and rewatch it when Hillary was on the first time. Hillary gave amazing readings, and someone who she read on that day actually wrote to me on Facebook to tell me how much it helped her. And so I'm very grateful to have her in my life. She was my teacher before, and now I'm honored to call her friend and colleague. So love to Hillary. Get well soon, as I know that you are, because we're always working toward wellness and healing. And so to everyone who is joining me today, whether you're watching live or if you're watching on YouTube or catching the audio on a podcast, your timing is perfect. And so just a little bit of business to get out of the way. I am Tricia Carr. If it's your first time joining me, I am a medium, I'm an intuitive, and I'm an animal communicator. And I'm also an energy healer. And I won't go into what all of those things are. I just like to mention them because they're just sort of filters that I flow through in this kind of broadcast and this kind of work. And my website is triciacarcharm.com, and my social media handles are at triciacarcharm. So please do follow, subscribe, do all those things that you do so that we can stay in touch. And I would love to keep connecting with you in this live broadcast and in any of the archives of this show. And I can't tell you how blessed I feel to be here. I am broadcasting live from the Universal Broadcasting Network studios in Hollywood, California. And Tony Sweet, the owner, the proprietor of UBN Radio, is actually engineering my show today, or producing it, I should say. Yeah, hi, Tony. So sweet.
Hi, Trish.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Thank you for noticing that. I have a thing with Trish. I don't do Trish.
Well, it's not your name.
Well, yeah. And the thing is, actually, names, I think, are important because, they have a particular vibrational signature. And so, I'm sure you've probably heard that the sweetest sound to a person's ears is their own name. So if it's a name or a version of your name that doesn't feel like your name, then you don't feel like you're connecting. So I think it's,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Or if people give it a given name and they don't like the name, they change it.
Well, that's true. But either way, like whatever you respond to, whatever is that vibrational signature that makes you feel like you're connecting to another person. And including the spelling, because I dabble a little bit in numerology. And so if the spelling is off, then that's a different numerological frequency as well. So spelling is important for people's names.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And you think about it, a lot of people go by whatever their mama called them, and that's
true.
And that's because that's when they felt accepted. That was their first
Brat.
God. Yeah, that's right. And actually, so I always joke if someone calls me Trish, I'm like, okay, the only time you can call me Trish is if you say it in one of these two ways that my daddy used to. Only time Trish was ever used when I was growing up, it's baby Trish or Miss Pissed Trish. And so if you want to use either one of those, go for it.
Might use the second one.
No, it's okay. No one's ever taken me up on it.
Okay.
Anyway, Tony Sweet, so glad to be in the studio with us. So fun. So, all right, to the business of this show. Today I wanted to talk about confidence and faith. I think that these two states of being really have a symbiotic relationship. So if you think about it, when you're confident, you have faith in yourself. And then in the traditional sort of understanding of the word faith, we can use faith the most to mean that we have confidence in the universe, in God, in divine. And so I think that they really work hand in hand, or at least they're kind of in tandem with one another in a lot of ways. One is sort of more the outer experience, and one is the inner experience. Confidence being the outer experience, and I'll explain what I mean by that. But before I do go into each of these states of being and what I think how they serve us and how we serve through these states of being, I would like to address one point that I already kind of just glossed by, and that is, what is God? Kind of a big, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm going to sum that up right now. We got 42 minutes? Yeah, no problem. Tricia Carr got this, but but actually I do think it's extremely simple. So a little bit about my background. I came up in a fundamentalist Christian religion, and I actually raised myself in that. Tony's looking at me like, well, that's weird. Yeah, it is a little weird. I took myself to church. I like to say that I was the white sheep of the family, and if my mother happens to be listening, she'll laugh at that because, we had rough goings. My mother was actually raised in extremely fundamentalist Christian religion, different sects of that. Sects, that is, sects. And so she was sort of doing, from my observation, a lot of the time when I was growing up, what I did in my 20s, which was leave it behind because it hadn't served her. Now, I would say that it definitely did serve me to an extent. I had a lot of spiritual growth while in religion. And what's funny about it is I didn't think that I was in religion when I was a kid. And I say a kid, it was basically from age 11 to probably about 20 that I was pretty devoted. I actually went to a Bible school and was planning to become some kind of a minister, maybe musical minister, that was ordained by a particular denomination or, particular church. And it was very evangelical. And that was actually the point that I started to depart, because the religious part of it, like I said, I didn't realize. I thought I was one of those people that says, oh, I'm spiritual, I'm not religious. I didn't realize that I was religious, or that at least I was finding my spirituality through religion, because that's just what I was shown, and that's the only paradigm that I had. So at some point, the religion, which to me, when I hear religion, I just think boundaries. I think, man-made structure. They didn't serve me anymore, and I didn't know how. It's 11:11 right now. Thank you, angels. Beautiful. Remember what you're doing at 11:11. Angels are telling you that this is really important. Whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're doing, pay attention. So thank you, angels, and thank you for showing it to me. So I decided to depart because there was more harm than good, at least from the way it felt to me, that was being done. And I couldn't grasp, I couldn't appreciate, I couldn't move past how there was segregation, where if you have to, people have to be able to understand these articulated concepts and structured beliefs in this way, or they will, not be able to find salvation or whatever it is. And that simply doesn't make any sense logically, because there are people that don't even have exposure to it. How could they have exposure to this specific kind of literature and this specific person's interpretation of that literature? And that literature, by the way, isn't even in its original form. It was reinterpreted and retranscribed by the Council of Nicaea and changed so that they could figure out how to control the masses, because they had, suddenly millions of people to control or to be responsible for. So you might say that there was actually some good intent behind that, because they thought they were doing what was for their own good, kind of like a parent guiding a child. But in the process, there was definitely some heart and some truth that was pushed aside. Certainly the truth of having that faith and confidence in yourself, having to put outside of yourself your power. And I think that's a lot of what everybody's been reacting to with this political climate that we've been in. We were told that we need to put an authority, that we need to put our agency outside of us. And then when we do that and we look to who the outside of us authorities are and we're terrified by them, then we just have self-destruction. So I think that kind of sums up how I departed from religion. And it was scary because I didn't realize that I was departing from religion. I thought that I was departing from my faith. And I guess I did throw the baby out with the bathwater, because I had an association of banging the microphone. I had association with that inner voice, that inner guidance. I associated that with the religion, that it could only come by studying those particular boundaries and adhering to them. But it just, like I said, the logic, the math didn't work out for me because there were others who were left out, that couldn't go through that narrow door. And so then I spent the next portion of my life, this is how I say it, I think I identify with my mother's life path. I spent it being linear and pragmatic. And I actually had a lot of healing during that time too. I needed to heal from a lot of emotional stuff, from a lot of pain and suffering and abuse and that happened in growing up and in childhood. Like I said, we had a rough go, to put it mildly. And so it actually helped me, and during that time being very left brain and pragmatic, it helped me to sort of compartmentalize and my emotions and to look at those wounds with objectivity. And that's very helpful. If you've watched this broadcast before, I've told you all that I'm an empath. An empath is someone who feels others' emotions as though they are their own. I like to talk a lot about highly sensitive people, creative people. And as a highly sensitive person, before I really understood what my kind of natural propensities were in those regards, I was just victimized. It was just victimhood with all of the feelings that I had. So the pragmatic time actually helped me to maybe disidentify from the wounds a little bit, and that was helpful. And so now I have that skill. I have that tool. So then after that, and I met my husband, and he has a similar background in having come up in fundamentalist Christian religion. But when we met, same thing, kind of like, hey, this isn't serving me. So, but I met my husband, and I remember us having, the reason I mentioned that is we had a few conversations, and he's an artist, where we would just say, I was like, I just feel uninspired. And he'd be like, my gosh, I feel the same way. That's how I've been feeling lately. Something was missing. That inner guidance, that joy, bliss, that flow feeling that I had with the spirituality, with the spiritual part of my religious practice was gone because I didn't know that they were different from one another. And I didn't know how to find it. I didn't know how to pursue it. Every now and again, I would actually still go ahead and just pray in the same language that I had as, in the religion. And because I thought, well, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt because of where my perspective now was, it doesn't matter, but it doesn't hurt. And maybe it'll help. Maybe just the feeling of it will help. So that's where I was. And then awakening happened, which I'm not going to talk very much more about my past. I'm always talking about my present. I'll go back to what is God. And the reason I wanted to tell that backstory is because the word God, through all of that experience, that life experience, the word God has had a bad taste in my mouth. And God had always meant some like dude, again, that was outside of myself. And so I had a feeling for what now we often use words like universe, divine, life force energy, unconditional love. I had a feeling for all of that, and those didn't fit what I had previously associated with the word God. But I just kind of have started, I want to be able to recapitulate and make amends with all words, because words are just signposts. And so since some people do identify well with the word God, I've gone ahead and I use it sometimes. And to me, God does mean what other people say in different kinds of law of attraction or spiritual practices, source energy, creative source, the life force energy. But I found that actually it's right there in the Bible, and I'm no good with remembering scriptures, but I do think it's John 4:8. I may have actually gotten that. God is love. It's so simple. So God is just love, and love is God, and nothing else. It's not a he, and it's just love. And love, what God is, or what divine, universe, what it is the immutable, the unchangeable aspect of our existence, of us, of the individual, and of this plane of the universe. It's just what cannot be changed or tarnished. If you look back on any choice that you've ever made, even if there's love in it, and let's say you partnered with something else that wasn't love, you still know, love wasn't tarnished by something that wasn't love, that was right next to it. Love is still there. It's unchangeable. Or God or divine or universe, whatever floats your boat, whatever makes you feel that feeling, that's what God is. Or that's what universe, the flow is. And the reason I bring all of this up is because, another way to look at it is that it's the natural healing agency. We have a natural healing agency. Nature and the ecosystem is always working toward wellness. Our bodies are always healing themselves. I mean, it's a miracle that if you cut your hand, it's going to just heal. That is love. That is an immutable force. And so sometimes, I'll say universe, I'll say higher self, divine. Angels and spirit, by the way, spirit guides, those are just representations of love. And the love that is you and also outside of you. Because in truth, in the highest truth, there is no separation. But what we are made of love. The life force energy, the breath of life that flows through us is love. Unchangeable. So at the core of confidence and faith is that immutable love. The immutable force of love, unconditional love. It has no condition. There's no condition that can be placed upon love and this life force energy. I'm going to take a second. I'm going to take a break because I just want to say that when I get past some of my chit-chatting here, phone lines are open. And, I have 2 calls. Okay, cool. I'm going to keep chatting a little bit and then I'm going to get back to my thing. Hang on, though. I think maybe I'll weave it in. 323-524-2599. And I want to keep delivering this message because it always shapes the calls and it shapes what we're all here to experience together, to fellowship in. So confidence. And pardon me while I take a sip. It's just me today, so I can't have someone vamp for me while I sip. Okay, so confidence. Like I said, confidence is really faith in yourself, in oneself. Babies go through this stage of, I don't know if it's all babies, I'm not a mom, but I've heard that babies or toddlers, young children, go through the stage of discovering themselves in the mirror, their image in the mirror, and kissing the mirror a lot. And I just think that is hilarious. But seeing the baby and then just loving the baby. So we have babies, when we come into this existence, we're really just very pure consciousness, underdeveloped physical bodies, underdeveloped mental bodies. But our consciousness is complete. But to be on this plane, we have to develop both of those physical and mental bodies. And so I think that the process of children having that perfect confidence, and we teach them to understand others, to reference others. And the reason that we have to teach them that, and it kind of can, we overcorrect the course a little bit, but it isn't because the babies or because the new humans with that pure consciousness are flawed and that we have to fix them so that they can better reference others. I think it's because we are the imperfect, the pure consciousness. They actually perceive unity better than we do, and so they kind of don't see a difference between themselves and another. But it's such a pure state that it actually kind of throws us for a loop. And to better illuminate this point, I'm going to actually read to you an excerpt from my forthcoming book, which is called Animals Are Who's Too, What Animals Teach Me About Life, Love, and the Universe. And I had this experience with a couple of butterflies who actually explained to me what I'm trying to articulate to you guys about how babies have such an identification with unity that they don't see themselves separate from one another, and how that confidence, that faith in self is perfect. And how we are imperfect in trying to teach them reference to others. And so, this is 2 butterflies. 2 butterflies were playing on what I call the butterfly bend of my running trail. There were so many other butterflies flying around, flirting, showing off, curiously approaching me, and other passersby, along with the flies who kept landing on me and buzzing my ears. But these 2 butterflies, who were playing chase and tumble, were so dang cute. I asked, as you know, I'm an animal communicator, and so I asked if either or both of these butterflies would like to talk. The one who happened to be smaller lingered before me and seemed receptive. I asked if I could feel into him and welcomed reciprocation. I asked the butterfly, "Do you have anything you would like to teach or share with me?" The butterfly landed on the ground about 3 feet in front of me and faced me. His wingtips pursed the dirt beneath him. His response came back. Why don't you go first? What do you like about being a human? I was struck. Wow. My own question was reflected back to me. I thought my question was so basic, even easy for this creature. But with the table turned, I felt how challenging it was. No wonder he wanted me to go first. I'm glad he presented my own question back to me because it brought me a deeper respect for my conversational partners, a better understanding of the demands I make. I thought for a few seconds, and I continued to feel into the butterfly. His innocent curiosity reminded me of an intelligent, human teenager. I inspected the butterfly's experience, compared and contrasted it to my own, so that I may find an answer that was my perspective, that is, sufficiently different from his. I hoped to find an answer that interested him. This answer I gave, as I felt it to be an obvious difference between us. I guess I do like the experience of not having known what I know now, how it feels to experience in contrast to my previous state of ignorance. The larger implication of what I know was of the universe, spirituality, connection, and whatever great or small concept that would allow a moment like this, speaking to a butterfly, this kind of moment to happen, that profound love. The butterfly asked, do you regret that time of being ignorant? My picture of contrast was clear to him. Today is better than yesterday. I answered the butterfly, yes and mostly no. I regret any time when I haven't been connected or doing my part to help others, yet I forgive myself. The butterfly said, I said, how about you? Do you have any regrets? I led him to begin answering my question. Well, said the butterfly, just now I think I regret that I don't have the same kinds of feelings that you have for others. I felt him feeling me. The young butterfly sent me an emoted illustration of his feeling of inherent connection with everyone and everything. His way of being was more harmonized as compared to the human default of separation. In the butterfly's perspective, there is little need for a model of help someone. In a way, there's less need for compassion, at least as we humans know it. In the butterfly's perspective, the wound which compassion heals dissolves into one before it begins. What happens to the other happens to the self. Yet this doesn't mean that there is no individuality. Simultaneous to a more adhesive feeling of one, the butterfly has personality, choice, free will, and he can design his own experience. And all of this adds to the co-creation of the dance of the all. But just then, he admired that I experienced compassion. He found it beautiful and strange and interesting. The butterfly pondered, should I care more than I do for other individuals? In the spirit of echo and exchange, I absorbed the butterfly's experience of the all. To me, his perspective of higher consciousness, perhaps even greater than compassion, was perhaps even greater than compassion. It seemed to be a thorough experience of unity while still being an individual. So this is what my awakening has been about, what this kind of communication flows from. But this was beyond believing. I felt the butterfly being unity. As we two, the butterfly and I, sat comparing our differences, his playmate appeared. Remember that guy in the beginning? This butterfly's essence felt wiser, maybe an older soul, or perhaps he was just literally, physically older. The elder butterfly interjected with the statement, we're not so different after all. Then the elder butterfly presented for the three of us to view in our mind's eyes the image of a butterfly's transfiguration from caterpillar to chrysalis to butterfly. The elder spoke to the younger, intentionally including me as audience. Do you regret your path? None of us responded. It was clearly a rhetorical question which summed up our shared message. I thanked the two butterflies and promised to stay aware so that I may feel compassion or connection, whichever presents to my human experience in the given moments. The younger butterfly stayed perched in his position until I approached him to continue on my path, and then he flew away. Thank you for listening. That is what I think babies come into this, babies like they're not us. We as babies come into this consciousness experiencing that unity so profound that, the butterfly effect. A butterfly flaps his wings and it affects everyone. And so in our attempting to teach babies to teach them duality, to teach them separation, because their mental bodies are underdeveloped. I think we overcorrect the course, and we go through this stage of desperately trying to be unselfish, and then we start taking hold of it as we become more independent, and we get into high school, and then we get knocked around in the world too. I actually remember in elementary school, I think it was probably 5th grade, and there was the girl in school who was like everyone thought was the prettiest. And honestly, she was extremely sweet. She was just like a naturally charismatic, pretty kid. And her name was Sharina. I remember her well. And everyone was mean to her because they were so jealous. And there was actually, I remember this so well, it broke my heart. They had all these little girls, they formed this club called the Sharina Hate Club. It was so sad. And I can't imagine, of course, Sharina was told that. That was the whole point of forming the Sharina Hate Club. So you can imagine what that would do to Sharina. Sharina would think, everyone thinks that I'm selfish and whatever. And like she would draw herself, it would destroy her confidence because she would lose faith in herself. Because she had been probably being herself, allowing herself to flow and be, and that actually reflected back to her something that was not love. And so what confidence really is, like I said, is self-faith. It's self-love and allowing ourselves to be ourselves. And so then faith. In a similar manner, we overcorrect the course of faith because our imperfect parents cannot live up to the perfection of pure love. Of course not. Just like religion couldn't live up to my need for a perfect spiritual experience. I mean, some of us do find that spiritual experience in religion, and it falls short for us because, there are people there in religion. That's always the problem. But the thing is, we do have faith. We truly do, all of us. If you think about how we have faith that our next breath will come, and if we didn't have faith that our next breath would come, and we would have like an anxiety attack. We'd be looking at it and trying to control the breath of life, and we could interfere with it. So we have faith in gravity. We have faith in the things that we're allowing our bodies to do at the very least. So everyone does have a model of faith because we allow. And so that's what I'm getting at, that faith is just allowance of receiving love, of receiving life force energy, of receiving God, divine, universe, all that the universe has to bring to us. And I'm going to read another little excerpt from a different book that I'm writing called Living Words, because there are words that I'll talk about some other time, thought forms that are actually alive as consciousnesses. There are plenty of things that are alive as consciousnesses. Where there is energy, there is information. And so the consciousness, the living word faith is, I channeled a message from faith. This is what this book is about. And it's short. This one's not as long as the butterfly one. But I just want to read this for you because this is what faith, the living word faith, explained to me about what faith is. I welcome you to my bosom. I am faith. My manner is gentle, and I am a fortress. I am protection and comfort at once. I soothe. Many have an inaccurate impression of faith, that I am pursued by force. Many even fear faith, having associated with falsehood, of condemnation for not having earned and proven faith by the standards of those who are blind and frightened. In truth, I am the allowance of life force and creativity. I am the action of the breath of life flowing into the lungs of creatures. I am the expectation of the sun shining upon your planet and the anticipation of being loved. It is not possible to be completely separated from faith. You know faith. It could not be any other way. You may welcome me into any part of your experience with your intention and desire. Offer your heart open, and I will know, and you will know that I abide. I, faith, am ever present. So that's faith. And when we have faith, we offer allowance. We allow love to flow to us. We allow life. Faith tells us that we can welcome this allowance into any part of our existence. And people, they ask me how I'm able to do like intuitive readings, psychic readings, mediumship, all that kind of that mediumistic stuff, or how I'm able to communicate with animals and hear messages that are verifiable, information that I didn't have, information that even the person who is the companion of the animal didn't have before our conversation, to be verified later. And well, it's weird. I don't do anything. what I did to be able to tap into those channels was I practiced letting go and allowing. I actually just clear my mind, and it gets easier to do that. And by no means am I perfect, because whatever information that I receive is through me as a filter. But it is still just complete allowance. And I clear my mind, and it just comes. Love comes. Love just flows. And so in conclusion, before I get to my calls, confidence and faith are really a function of allowing love. And just call to action. When we reach out, when we're reaching out to and having faith in the all or in God, however you see it, we're actually reaching in. And when we have confidence in ourselves and having faith in ourselves, we are actually connecting to without. That's the journey. So if you need a place in order to find a way to have faith in yourself, to have confidence, then you can go ahead and place it without. You can place it in the all, in that one, or in God, universe, divine, because that is the same as placing it within. And if you're going to have faith, when you place it without and you allow flow, you allow that universal flow, then you're actually allowing yourself to be yourself and having confidence. So what I think is really the best way to begin to cultivate faith and love, faith and compassion, what's the word? Confidence, forgot my subject, is to cultivate self-love. And there's a few ways that I'm going to give you a couple of practical tips about how to do that. So affirmations. I know we had that SNL sketch in the 90s with Stuart Smalley, and he looked in the mirror and said, I love myself, and darn it, I'm good enough. But affirmations, what they really are, they are a form of meditation. They're actually what we call control meditation, where we're attempting to reprogram our subconscious mind. But what we're trying to do is activate the feelings of love, the positive feelings, because doesn't that feel better? That's the whole reason we do anything, is so we can feel better. But it is actually how the law of attraction works, if you are a student of law of attraction at all. When we have a feeling experience, that is that frequency that we're sending out to the universe, to the all, and it's like tuning your radio dial. And so we have all of these different conflicting feelings, but we want to enhance the good feelings, because as we enhance those good feelings, those good beliefs about ourselves and the world and everything, as we enhance them, they grow and they start to unseat those negative ones. And I'll give you an example. So think of someone right now that you have no doubt they love you. 100%, you're positive, no doubt in your mind, this person loves me. Okay. Now, you don't need this person to say I love you, but crap, doesn't it feel good when they do? So that's what affirmations can do for you. You take something about yourself or the universe, and you place your attention upon it. And if you feel that you're struggling in one particular area, you could take that area and turn it into an affirmation and an affirmative statement, so that you can place your attention upon it. And again, to grow awareness of the positive, so you unseat the negative. So let's say you're struggling with finances. You can actually just Google affirmation for finances, and then just skim through those and see one that makes you go, that feels good. Write that down. Put it on your phone, so that when you're standing in line, you just have a glance at it, and you just say it to yourself or say it aloud, whatever you want to do, and you get that feeling. That actually will start to change your life. Okay, one more. This is really great. I actually heard this from Teal Swan, and I've heard it from a few other people, a way to cultivate self-love. Any decision that you make all throughout the day, as many times as you can remember it, ask yourself this statement. What would someone who loved themselves do? It's powerful. And I really saw, I mean, like anything at all. I kind of saw how powerful it is. It actually makes things easier, because I was one day trying to decide what to wear, before I head out for my day. You look at the closet and you're like, I don't have anything. I don't know. And so I just said, hey, I'm going to ask that. What would someone who loved themselves wear? And immediately, and I just felt that. I asked it to myself. I asked it inside and really felt what that meant. And my focus went, that dress. And I was like, that's the dress. Why on earth was I not going to wear that dress before I asked that question of myself? And I could tell it was because that dress is special. today's not special enough. You're not special enough to be in this day to be wearing it. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly it. The reason I wasn't choosing it was for a lack of self-love. And I'm special every effing day. So I'm wearing the dress today. At least that's what we need to believe. And I'm going to take calls now, but I just had one more little call to action. I found when I was researching this and I looked up, Googled, what would someone who loved themselves do to see who else had said this. And I found a cool little list called 7 Simple Things That People Who Love Themselves Do Every Day. And so I'm just going to leave y'all with that. 7 simple things that people who love themselves do every day. I'm going to let y'all read it because spend some time on your own if you feel like reading that. And I'm going to say, hey, let's take the calls. We still have a couple? Okay, cool. Do we have their name or their phone number so I can let them know who's in? Okay. Hi there. You're on the air. Who's this?
Oh, hi. This is Donna.
Hi, Donna.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Where are you calling from?
Getting ready for Christmas. California.
Oh, good. That's where I am. You getting ready for Christmas?
I am. Yeah, not too much happening, but I'm by myself kind of. But I might do something with a friend. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, my Christmases are pretty low-key, too. Well, what do you have on your mind today?
Well, I am not in a relationship, and I wanted to know if one was going to come in. I'd like to get married at one point of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I would like that companionship and special one person. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm going to just help you a little bit before I am getting some answers to your question. And I just want to help you to answer the question for yourself ongoing too. The first thing I'm prompted to tell you is that rather than when the reason that we ask when is because we really want to connect with our desire. And a higher vibrational, a more effective question to ask is, how may I align with? And not that you didn't actually specifically say when, but there was a little bit of a feeling of when in there because that's how it feels. You want it to be now. So I just want to give you that first is how may I align with? And in your devotion, prayer, meditation, whatever you do, maybe focus on that. How may I align with whatever the fill in the blank is? Relationship, partner, future spouse. Sound good? Yes. And I actually, so the what I was being shown right away is that you are actually really on the path of cultivating that self-love. You've been going through a lot of healing, I would say the last 5 years, but even more so the last year, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
yes.
It's beautiful. So just know that's put you right on the path, right? Because you have a deep connection with your inner guidance, with your higher self. And you are you're so devoted to love and to serving others that there's no way that you want to bring a person into that relationship who doesn't have that confidence and faith that I was talking about this whole time. You want to bring into the relationship the person who is going to be the most loving, the highest ideal, the highest possible partner. You want to bring that you into the relationship. Yes?
Yes.
And you're on your way. And so actually I feel like just right now I can feel what you're feeling, that you're just being encouraged to keep that up, to keep cultivating that self-love, keep celebrating yourself. I can see you, I can feel you celebrating yourself, singing, giving yourself some, doing a little bit of that mirror work that Louise Hay talks about, where you look in the mirror and say, oh my gosh, you are adorable. You got this, kid. Let's go get this day. You're so valuable. Can you do that? Have you done that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I say I love you. I love you in the mirror.
Oh, it's so powerful. So you're just being encouraged to keep that up. And I feel like that maybe there was just the teeniest little bit of a crust of that old social conditioning, that over course correction that I was talking about earlier, where it's like, am I supposed to be doing it this way? Am I being selfish? Am I being arrogant? No, you're not. Go all the way with it. There's no way you're going to be arrogant. You should know that because you are you're so sensitive. You're so devoted to love. And you just a reassurance that you know exactly where love is. And so just keep turning to love. I mean, it's like you just need to give yourself that final flawless faith, that flawless confidence, giving yourself 100% permission to cultivate that perfect love for yourself. And wow, that really is putting some fuel on the fire. You're really, oh man, I can feel it so close. I feel in this moment your heart just opening up, and I feel like any second now you're just going to be ready. But you're deepening your presence, and you're like, but I'm centered in love right now. I love me, and I love everything. So you already are perfect and you're complete, but you're ready. You're really ready for that person who's going to reflect back to you that love and challenge you more and continue to help you to learn lessons. How's that feel?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Are you there?
Oh, sorry. It just it came in a little. I couldn't hear you there for a second, but I'm here now. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Yeah, if you missed any part of it, you can always listen back. But how does that feel? Do you have any other questions, or how does that feel to you?
Yeah, that sounds good because, it is something that I want to attract into my life. And, I am feeling positive and good about it. And,
Well,
Also, I wanted to ask you if you see a little part-time job coming up for me. I work 1 day a week as a companion to someone, but it's really not enough. I need to work.
Yeah. Okay. And so just additional direction for that self-love, that you can allow that faith and confidence into any part of your life. But I do see that is also on a trajectory. I see that it looks like you're going to be increasing to 3 days a week right away, and you're easing into it because that's going to be more comfortable, and it's going to help you to adjust. Well, we don't like to take leaps because then we aren't quite the person who can handle the landing. So you're gonna take a pretty big step because you're ready for it. I feel like 3 days a week is going to come up pretty soon. It feels like where you are right now. I mean, I only talk about timing if I'm really led to, and it has to do with exactly where you are right now. So it could change. It could, you could enhance this as soon as you're ready. But it does feel like by January, sometime in January, maybe by the third week, that you could increase that to 3 days, and you're going to really love it. And then that love of working more and that purpose feeling is going to, maybe you'll increase it up to 4 days. But I feel like you have some other personal things that are really important to you as well. So you kind of don't want to work too much. You don't want to get into the swing of things that are, you working so hard that you don't have time for the personal and the kind of your mission. But that you can find a way, and just again to give yourself permission to get what you need out of the time that you're spending doing it. So it doesn't have to be a lot of time. We don't actually have to suffer and toil so hard for our sustenance. We can work 1 hour a week and make all the money that in the world that we need. It's possible. So that's looking really good too. Anything else for you, Donna?
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
One other little thing I just wanted to know. Do you see any travel for me? I did do a lot of traveling in the past. I was in Ireland and Italy and Taiwan, and maybe with the partner that I meet, him and I will travel. Or do you see, travel possibilities for me again? Because it's been about 4 years.
Okay, well, I'll just say that I want to wrap up and get to a couple more calls before we go.
Thank you.
Not at all. But I do want to give you a little piece on that. Is that go ahead and stay present. You kind of got you have breakfast in front of you. You're kind of getting to lunch tomorrow by being a little concerned about that. But know that you can create any experience that you want. That you could do some travel on your own. You don't have to wait for the partner.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. I'm going by myself.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Fine.
All right, sweetheart. Well, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good day.
Thank you, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays
All
to
right.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I am ready. Who's next? Christine. I think we have Christine on the line.
Oh, I can't hear too well and everything.
Oh.
I was wanting to ask about my current situation of what I'm going through and whether or not I'm going to be getting cured from this.
Yeah, health I have, right? It's about a health?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have, is it, I'm feeling something like it's in the chest area, or is it gut or chest? Is that right?
No.
No, okay. Is it a blood issue then?
No.
No, it's not. Well, I don't. I'm getting some ping in the heart. Maybe this could be. I think that somehow it is impacting the heart, but I think this is also, the sadness, the heart chakra. I'm being led to talk about the heart.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, not to frighten you. I'm not saying it's like.
Right.
I just feel like a heaviness in the heart area. A little bit difficult to breathe sometimes, but I think that again could be the physical as well as the mental and emotional. So I'm just being shown that lifting your head up, like lifting your face. This is a symbol that if you can start to sort of change those. Change the way that you're looking at things, and to try to connect more with the bright side of things. Oh, that sounds so simple, probably, but it really, the simplest answers are the most profound. How does that feel to you?
Well, I've done things like that, and it hasn't happened.
Okay. Well, see how we had that vibration going. I've done that. I've been bright, but. So if you can try to push through the butt and keep being positive, and I know that feels a little difficult right now, but I promise you that if you could listen back to the beginning of this, just know that the universe always has your back, really, really, truly does. And if you can just
no, because I'm a Christian, and I feel like I'm going to heaven because I've already been saved.
Amen. I believe that
So I don't feel anything about the universe having my back. I majored in science in high school.
Would you say you don't feel anything?
I went to University Scholastic Leagues, and I got, fourth place and everything.
Great. Okay, good. Well, what did you say about you don't feel anything about the universe? I just didn't understand what you said there.
Well, see, I'm saved. I'm a Christian, so I know that when I pass away, I'm going to go to heaven.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that as well. So we're talking about this life, though, right now, still before passing. So you have a faith that's really defined in Christianity, and that's beautiful. So then I think what might work for you is to place your awareness and your trust in Christ, and knowing that Christ always has your back, and that
right. But I feel like Christ loves me so much that he has given me something that is terminal. Because there's no way in the world, it's already been chronic, and there's no way anybody can cure this thing I've got. Okay. And it's like, so it's like obviously he wants me to go with him or something.
But he's with you now. You aren't separated from Christ. It's not possible.
Right.
Yeah. And so I would say that, this is the only moment that we have, and it is an expanded, eternal moment. So I would say that just keep placing that attention on Christ, and knowing that in this moment, Christ's love can heal you. In this moment, that the feeling of connection with Christ is your healing. All right,
I even exalt God by doing sign language and stuff because, like I said, I've got a hearing problem. So I go to nursing homes and exalt him by doing sign language and music.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for that.
And I also have a ministry where I go to the choir and sing in there.
Oh, great.
But like they're having a concert tonight and I can't go because of what's been going on with me.
Oh, sweetheart. Well, sing in your house.
I haven't been in choir for months.
Why don't you should sing in your house. Why don't you do that? You can still celebrate.
The choir director sent me a Thanksgiving card.
Oh, beautiful. Hey, sweetheart, I'm so sorry, but I have to get to other callers before we hang up. But Christine, thank you so much for calling in, and I send you so much love in Christ, and healing and blessings. And you're wonderful for the work that you do, and I send you blessings.
Okay.
All right, sweetie.
You have a blessed day.
Thank you. All right. How much time do we have? Can we take one more?
Let's go ahead and take one more. Or
okay.
Maybe we actually have two, so let's just go ahead and try to see if we can do it. Julie, about her cat.
Okay. You let me know how much we can run over.
Hi.
Hi, Julie, about your cat. Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm fabulous.
What's going on?
Yeah, I have a kitty cat named Lucy. She's 11.
Aw.
And she's good about using the litter box except for pooing on the floor. And I just want to get in her head.
So is Lucy a tabby?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. I got Lucy right here. Okay, so do you have the litter that you're using? Is it that crystal kind of litter?
No.
No. Is it?
It's clumping.
It's clumping, but is it the larger pieces?
No.
It's not. Well, I'm just interpreting what she's telling me a little bit is that it is about the feeling on her feet. Her little feet pads are sensitive, and this litter is uncomfortable for her feet pads. You've had it for a while, though. You've been using it for a while, right?
Yeah,
You haven't
she always
changed it.
goes potty there.
Yeah, and she just, I think you would benefit by changing the litter up a little bit. Let me just see. She's just, and then I would say also changing it. Do you scoop it twice a day? It's not emotional. It's all physical. She doesn't like the way it feels, and then she's just like, and then sometimes when it smells, like she just feels uncomfortable, and it's just like kind of like, oh, screw it, I'll just do it here, that kind of thing. Peeping, that's funny.
She's goofy because she'll go potty and then she takes 3 steps out and there it is.
Yeah.
And she came from a litter that was feral and mother had distemper. And I'm wondering if there's something brain-wise.
Well, I mean, I guess in a way, it's not from her perspective really, but it is about because she still has. Because she started as a feral, she has that access to this primal nature. So the peeing she does in the box because she understands that if she doesn't do it in the box, that it's going to spread and then it's going to be like it's like that concern about predators. Like she's never going to be able to get over that. But the poo-pooing where she wants to, like she's like, well, it's good enough because it doesn't. If I do it in the box, you can still smell it, and I don't like getting in the box that much. So I would say change up the So change up the situation. I use a walnut shell one, and it's fairly soft. Okay. There's also the one that's like wood chip and the one that's paper, and they're all natural. But those softer ones, see if those work for her, and then if she keeps doing it, give her some time though. Give her a couple of changes on the box to see if she changes her habit. Go ahead and put pee-pee pads down. Obviously, you probably already do that. But I feel like Lucy loves you very much. She's like, okay, hold on before I go. She's like, just tell mommy that I love her very much. I want to be a good girl. She's showing me that she likes to sleep up around your neck area. Is that accurate?
Yeah, she jumps up there, but she doesn't like to be picked up.
No, but she has to be in charge. But because I have a little former feral kitten who has to be in charge as well. But the reason she's up there around your neck area is because she helps you to work on your throat chakra, which is about our expressing ourselves, expressing our truth. And she's helping you just to filter that out and to get all of the stuff out of the way so that you feel that confidence actually, because your truth is important and she knows it and she knows you know it. But then there's just sometimes you need a little extra encouragement. Maybe you're kind of getting through some things to be able to express your truth better. And so, well, good luck. Keep me posted let me know if that helps, and I'll be happy to, call back if you need me to touch base with her again. You're always welcome to call in and talk to Lucy. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy.
Have a great day.
You too. Do we have time for one more? Okay, great. Let's do it.
I'm not for sure how to pronounce this name, but it's about moving to a larger city. So go ahead.
Okay. All right.
Hey.
Hi.
It's Eric.
Oh, Eric. Okay, great. Are you Eric with a C or a K?
I'm Eric with a K. I actually changed it. I'm starting work in the entertainment industry and changed the spelling, so now it's A-E-R-I-K. And so it's a little different, but it's eye-catching and people seem to like it, so I kept it.
A-R-E-I-K. Oh, nice. I like that.
Yeah, A-E-R-I-K. Yeah, it's different.
Really?
I think it's a Gaelic spelling.
Yeah, with the A-E. I like it a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I do too.
So moving, is that what we're talking about?
Yes, I've actually been. I've done a lot of work in film and television, and I've been throwing around the idea of moving to LA or New York, and my heart wants to stay in my hometown. I actually got ill and ended up having to take care of family here in town, and I'm kind of in a place where nothing's really happening, but I want to stay here, because I'm grounded here, but I really believe that for career I have got to move. And so I'm having a hard time, one, looking at the option of I have a couple of contacts that I can reach out that would be in LA that are possibilities, and they're pretty major. It's a possibility. And then there's a school that has an LA and New York base, and I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's ahead, because I don't know.
Even before you gave me all the details, I was definitely feeling a lack of alignment to moving to LA. I feel like that in your hometown, because that grounding and that feeling that you have, that you do have the opportunity to build something on your own. I feel that you're very much an entrepreneur. Does you resonate with that? Yeah, exactly. I mean, of course, you have to be anyway if you're going to be in the entertainment industry. But you definitely, I see you have this image of you actually putting something together that's something like a multimedia theater kind of thing, like actually leading something like that. And what's so beautiful about it is that it has everything for you, because it has your passions, it has all of that expression, all that creativity, and you've actually developed yourself well in those areas, and you're ready to deliver that. But then it also has all the love and all those people and all of the hearts that you connect with in your hometown. And then when you said New York with the school, and the school is something that is like, do you take you take like a course, or you take like 9 months or something like that?
Yeah, they're, excuse me, they have a possibility of a conservatory, but they also have a 2-year course. I have not been able to finish school, and I really would like to finish.
Yeah,
but then in the film industry, you don't need it.
You don't really need to, but if it's fun to you and it helps you, then that's okay too. But I did feel when that the New York version of it might actually be something fun for you, but not right now. Something that maybe in a year or after, but really to be that entrepreneur in your hometown, to go ahead and find alignment with all of those things instead of the shoulds. Let's drop the shoulds. I should move to LA. I should do this and that. That the shoulds, we need to really stop shoulding all over ourselves, because the shoulds are evidence of our lack of confidence. And so drop those shoulds and say, I am grounded. I am, I do have love here in my home. I am good at this creative expression. I am an entrepreneur, and put all those pieces together, and you can be served by that right now. And then if still in about a year after you get that going, if New York seems like fun, and like you said, again, you're like, I kind of want to go to school, but I shouldn't really want to because it's not necessary. There's another should right there. If we could drop that should out of it, and if it just feels like fun, then go ahead, and it can edify you if you want. But like I said, I think the primary focus, the immediate focus, is putting all those pieces together: the entrepreneurship, your expertise, and the creative expression, and then the hometown. That's what it feels like to me.
And see, that's what I've been feeling as well. What's difficult is that really for where I want to be and where I plan to be, like in the industry, I just feel so much larger than where I am.
Well, one step at a time. One step at a time, sweetheart. Just imagine, one step at a time. Just imagine if you built that business for yourself, and then it was running so well, you could go to LA, and you could take it to LA. I mean, those are just supposings, you know what I mean? Like, you never know, but we're one step at a time, and you are aligned with staying, and you're aligned with being an entrepreneur and being creative. So I say go with those. And I'm so sorry to cut you off, but we are just about out of time. But I send you so much love, and I just try to eliminate those shoulds. That's the most important part, I think, of this call.
Can I ask just one quick question about age personally? That's something I get in the way as well, as far as moving forward. Like, I'm like, if I don't do this now, I'm getting too old to eventually do that, and that's a really dangerous place. So what do you speak towards that briefly, and then I can totally let you go.
Deepen your presence, because now is the only thing that we have. That's another should. I should be doing this by this time. Honey, I just started this show. I think this is my 5th or 6th show, and I'm on camera. This is everything that I want it to be. I mean, it's like amazing. I'm 42. I didn't do it before then. I could have shoulded myself out of that. I should have done it already. I'm too old. Not to make it about me, but this is my show.
No, I'm
kidding. But just again, that's another should. So maybe deepen the devotional practice too, so that in the morning, as soon as you wake up, you feel eternity, you feel your eternal nature, and that time and space is an illusion. And that'll go to the other bit too. Do you have some kind of devotional time? First thing in the morning is really important, so we can start our thoughts on the higher plane.
I do slightly, but not really. I need to go ahead and concentrate more on it.
Give yourself permission to do that. That's you taking care of you. Have a look at
Perfect.
the 7 simple things that people who love themselves do every day. Look that up, and I think you'll find some resonance there. Well, it's so nice to meet you, Eric. Thank you for
Great.
calling. Good luck, and
Thank
please
you.
keep me posted on how it
Mhm.
goes.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Well, thank you for letting me run over, Tony, and everybody else that's listening. That's our show today on Charmed Life. We'll be back again live on ubnradio.com, Channel 1, at 11 a.m. Pacific Time. And in the meantime, thank you for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are.